Okay, a little technical difficulties here because the kids keep calling me during my cooking demo. All right, what I've done is I've cut off the top and the bottom of the butternut squash, and I'm trying to cut out the seeds at this point. I'm going to give you a little trick. You know, the butternut squash is raw at this point, so it's kind of hard to cut through it, but let me turn you a little and show you what I'm doing. So, there we go. I'm actually just going to cut here. And then you know you're gonna have a thing with seeds. I've already done this once. You're gonna cut a little corner of it out, and you could basically just trim off the seeds from there, and then you can just go through and just trim the seeds out from the inside of the squash. And I find this is a lot easier than having to like scoop it with a spoon or having to you know, cut down the center, and this way it's all done. Now, what can you do with these seeds? There are people that roast them, and you can put it on top of your, you know, you could use it as like a topping, a crunchy topping on top of your soup. I'm not messing around. I don't want to roast my seeds. I just throw them out. Okay, the rest of the squash, what you're going to do is you're just going to cut it into different chunks. Again, it's sort of like I said with the onion, doesn't really matter the size chunks because we are going to be blending it. So as I'm cutting this, I notice that my onions are, they're ready for the garlic. I'm going to put a little bit of garlic. That spoon didn't fit. I'm just going to add, oh, maybe like a teaspoon of garlic. You can hear how quickly that is and I'm again at like a medium heat, so I'm not that high the heat. I'm just gonna let that cook for about 1 minute. Then I'm going to pour in, this is a 32 ounce of vegetable broth. I'm gonna use all of it because while I think my squash is 2 pounds, I think it is a little bit more. You're just gonna, basically you are cooking the butternut squash in your broth. Okay, that doesn't even look like enough to me. I'm going to add about half a box of this of water. Just so you have a lot of broth. Okay, so that's that. And then as you're cutting these chunks, you're literally going to throw them in your pot. And we are going to, I'm lowering this all the way down low, and we're just going to put this on like a high heat, and you're gonna cook that down. You know, squash is very, very hard. You could see how hard it is. I have good knives, and you could see how hard it is to cut. You do need a little strength, and what that also means is that it will take some time for it to soften. You want the squash to cook until it is softened so that you can blend it properly. So again, just cutting these down and throwing them into our pot. That's gonna cook. And then I'm gonna show you what we do with the onion, and then we're like done, right? So, you know, you're obviously gonna blend it at the end, but then we're done. And so this butternut squash soup comes together super quickly. Now, what else can you do with this butternut squash soup? Lots of things, okay? This soup, if you use a little less liquid, can be super, super thick. So you want to use the right amount of liquid, but you can use this soup, you could put ravioli in it. You can use this soup as a standalone, which is what I do. I serve it with my kids with bread. I serve it with myself with a little side salad. It's a great main dish. You can serve it as like a pre-dinner soup for the fall. And do I have like a seed in my hair? I might. And you... it's also just very versatile. One delicious, amazing, amazing way to enjoy this is you can serve the soup and drizzle a little molasses on top of it. Not only does it look absolutely stunning, but it actually tastes really good too. But molasses is very high in sugar, so I don't know how you feel about that. Okay, I'm gonna season up these onions a little bit, a little more pepper. Now, I'm going to put in, this is cooking, I'm gonna put in red pepper flakes. I'm also going to just toss these in here because we like it spicy. I'm going to add, I don't need that, don't need that. I'm going to add some cinnamon. Just a little, maybe like a quarter of a teaspoon. And I'm going to add what I will say the equivalent is of like an eighth of a teaspoon. You do not want to overpower, of a little ginger. And literally, I'm like just flying by the seat of what's in my cabinet. So feel free to use whatever kind of seasonings that you want your butternut squash to reflect. So the seasonings in here are not going to blend totally in with that. I don't have that much going on here. In fact, for the amount of squash I have, I may need to use another onion. So this is what we've got. We've got this onion, we've got the butternut squash. And when that butternut squash is soft and tender, we're going to take it, we're going to put that plus our onions into some sort of blending device. If you don't have a blending device, you're using the handheld blender, you just throw that onion mixture right in there and you just blend it until it's completely blended. You're better off using a Vitamix, a blender, a Cuisinart, and that way you will have everything smooth and delicious. When you have completed blending it, you put it back in the pot and just keep it on warm until you're ready to serve it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you give it a try, and please let me know. Talk soon. Enjoy your soup.